In this video, we're tuning in on an interesting story out of Virginia of a homeowner who recently faced a surprising and stressful situation when a $78 bill led to a mechanic's lien being placed on her house. Wow. And get this, the lien was illegally placed below the state's minimum dollar amount required to place a property lien. Let's check it out.
Nolan would be the first to tell you she's not a fan of the outdoors.
I'm allergic to grass, ragweed, dust, you name it.
So it won't come as a surprise that her husband took care of the yards.
That keeps a marriage very healthy.
Yes.
I'm right there with you.
But last summer, their lives changed forever when her husband, Greg, of 17 years, was diagnosed with cancer. It spread quickly.
So I was doing full care from him up until he passed away on August the 12th.
After his funeral came the daunting task of going through all that paperwork, along with bills from companies she says her husband dealt with. That included an invoice for $39 from Lawn Doctor of Woodbridge, which she paid off.
So I'm thinking we're done.
But weeks later, she got another bill for $78.64 from that same company, but this time in her name.
So I'm wondering, okay, what is this?
Turns out it was the final two payments for an annual fertilizing program her husband had signed up for. The Lawn Doctor owner said the work was completed. Shanita says she never saw them. And when she reached out, she was told in an email, "We are very sorry for your loss, but the debt still needs to be paid."
Now, this is where the story really becomes questionable.
I said, can you please send me the contract? Because I don't know anything about this.
But there was no contract. But there was no contract. But there was. The Lawn Doctor owner, Gary Pierpoint, told her and confirmed to the News 4i team that he never had signed contracts. He only uses verbal agreements with his customers and has since 1976. In another email, he went on to say that since she and her husband are both listed as co-owners on the home, you may not like the idea that you're responsible, but it's the law. But consumer rights attorney Matt Rosendahl says that's not exactly right.
You and your spouse can enter into separate contracts, and the other spouse is not liable unless they also signed the contract or they also verbally agreed.
I think people would be surprised by that.
Yeah, I think they would. Unless that's actually a specific term of the contract, you are not liable for your spouse's obligations that they take on. And if they, in the event that they unfortunately pass away, it's their estate that is liable.
Rosendahl says when there's no money left in the estate, like in Shanita's husband's case, the debt would generally go unpaid.
When I get a bill in my name for something that I had no parts in, that did something to me, because I'm really big about justice.
Did you pay it?
I didn't.
That's when things escalated, with the company's owner saying in this email, "We are not in the business of sympathy and despair," and that if she didn't pay the $78, he would put what's called a mechanic's lien on her property.
Any company in Virginia can file a mechanic's lien against a property as long as they supplied labor and materials they claim went unpaid. However, there are a few rules they have to follow. First of all, the unpaid bill has to be more than $150, and they just can't tack on a bunch of additional fees.
But when the I-team checked court records on the lien against Shanita's house, we found that $78 bill had jumped to more than $2,000. In an email, the owner told her he added $1,000 for his time and effort to file the lien and another $1,000 for his time and effort to release it.
That's what we call overburdening the lien. And in that situation, the court is going to also invalidate the lien if they find that they intentionally misled the court and the land records when they filed and said that you owe those amounts.
That's the thing that's very upsetting to me, because if he did it to me, he could have done it to others, or he will do it to others.
The I-team found he has. Pierpoint is a frequent filer of mechanics liens. We found dozens filed with the state over the last 20 years.
Hi, this is Susan Hogan calling from NBC4.
He wouldn't talk to the I-team on camera, but did tell us in a call that he has roughly 20 liens pending against customers now.
How detrimental are mechanics liens when they're placed on your home?
It can be extremely detrimental because it's, title insurance company will not clear your house for sale unless that lien is released.
After the I-Team sent Pierpoint a copy of the law, he told us he would remove the lien. And county records show he did. But added, the removal of the lien in no way relieves Mrs. Nolan of the money owed to us.
I'm willing to pay him the $78 just so I can be free and continue to grieve in peace and not continue to get invoices from him.
Okay, folks, this oversight has highlighted the significant consequences for a homeowner that can arise from unpaid bills, no matter how minor they may seem. The story serves as a cautionary tale for others to stay vigilant about even the smallest financial obligations, to avoid similar predicaments and to ensure that companies are following proper legal procedures. In such situations, it's a good idea to contact legal counsel to address the issue and protect your property rights.